you at Kizzy Consulting, also an architect and always a developer at heart. So today I'll be speaking on why is it important to have clean data in your orgs, and specifically from an AI perspective. Before moving on, I would like to thank my sponsors, for making this session possible and this event possible as well. So the first and the most important, discussion is AI magic, because a lot of people, specifically from non-tech backgrounds, feel that AI is like magical, right? But they don't understand the underlying current which kind of runs the AI. So it's like giving a gourmet chef rotten tomatoes and expecting the best dish possible. That is not possible, right? So similarly, if you have messy data, AI can definitely not give you the expected outputs. Now, talking about the hype versus reality. So I see everyone talking about AI, Einstein, ChatGPTs, Google Gemini, and all these different LLMs, but nobody is talking about data, right? And it's like garbage in, garbage out. So nobody wants to clean the data, but everybody expects AI to do the magic and do all their jobs, and they just sit and chill probably. So let's talk about what does clean data actually mean. I have seen customers and met customers, they're like, Sanjeet, our data is like clean, we have records in the system. What do you mean by clean data? So NYC and New York are not same, they are different. I've seen text field where somebody is entering NY, somebody entering NYC, somebody is entering New York, all mean the same, and the sales rep are also like right in their own ways, but as per an organization standard, this is not correct, and AI can definitely not give you the expected results if you have different values out there. Secondly, what I have seen a lot is that the records are not complete. I have seen leads without phone number and emails. I don't know what will happen to these organizations, right? So it is very important to have complete data sets, no half-cooked information there. Some leads I have seen without even the product information in there, which customer is interested in. So we need to make sure that the records are kind of complete. Then duplicates, I think everybody here will relate to this. Duplicate is one of the major issues. John Smith with an edge, John Smith without an edge, they are not twins. So let's not take multiple records and create them in the system. Let's make sure that we search for the customers in the org and then only enter new records if they do not already exist. Then consistent picklist naming and formatting. This is another common issues wherein picklist values are not consistent. Sometimes you're integrating with some other systems and you allow any or garbage data to kind of go back. And same picklist will have multiple values which kind of mean the same. And in the world AI, right, so metadata is also equally important. So let's not forget to put descriptions on the fields so that the AI can understand the metadata and act accordingly. Now, moving further, why clean data is superpower for AI. So let's talk a bit about how AI functions. So AI basically runs on top of clean data, and it recognizes different patterns and gives you the expected output, or maybe does some prediction on top of it. But if you don't have clean data in the system, it will kind of keep guessing, and we don't want guesses, right? No, none of the customer wants guessed outputs. So dirty data is equal to missed opportunities, and we don't want them. So let's clean our data before we execute AI. So this is one of the examples from an Agentforce deployment we did recently, a couple of months back. So what happened was the customer was really excited about Agentforce, they deployed it, and we were all excited. There was a nice little bot on the website. Customer logged in, opened the bot, and they were having some issues with one of the products. So the customer was like, hey, can you help me with this particular issue? And there were unfortunately 3 records for the same client. One was correct, 2 were incorrect. Agent wrongly picked up the one that was incorrect, and it mentioned that the support tier has expired. So please renew the support tier in order to receive the services. Customers were irritated, they will get caught angry, and ultimately they left to a competitor. This happened multiple times before we realized that this was an issue, and then we kind of identified and fixed it. So what we fixed was we identified the duplicates, We merged those up, but the customer was using like the org for 10 years, so it was not so easy. Definitely we merged it up, but then we aligned some data account owners to verify profiles and data profile verification tagging, and trained our agent to kind of pick up only the verified records, and that kind of solved the problem. Reduced escalation by about 40-45%, and also Prompt Builder was able to craft better responses to the customers, and customer satisfaction score increased a lot. So what I'm trying to point here is Agentforce is great, but I think the underlying data needs to be corrected before you kind of go ahead and implement it and go all in. So some of the common data offenders, right? So when your AI suggests a 3-year-old is reading from 2018, makes no sense. So how does this outcome come through, right? It happens when manual, sales agents, they don't love entering data manually, and that is one of the key reasons this happens. So we should encourage, timely, correct manual data entries. Second issue is sync issue, right? So I've seen a lot of marketing tools are connected, integrated, like HubSpot or Marketing Cloud, maybe MailChimp and a couple of others. So the in-sync is not there, and you don't know the customer is opening the emails, they are clicking on the links, and your AI acts on top of it, and it produces like varied results, which is kind of leads to inconsistencies. Then no data governance, no validation rules. Like I mentioned, I've seen orgs where lead does not have an email and phone number, so that leads to lack of data governance and validation. So we need to make sure we have a governance team in place. The data validations are there, some basic ones at least, right? I don't want sales agents to not enter the data because of all the error encountered, but at least there has to be some sort of validation and governance in place. And integrations, today is a world where we use multiple systems, so data resides in different silos, but they have to be like integrated well together. If you're using data cloud, then you can use data cloud, otherwise you can use a traditional integration methods, but we need to make sure that integrated systems are like, it has a dual-way integration, and something gets updated in one system should be reflected to another one, and data should not be in silo, so that your AI agents can act properly and behave in a right fashion. So like you brush twice a day, I think data hygiene is equally important. So some of the common points that I've picked up across implementations that I've done in the past, there are a lot more, but these are the top picks. So firstly, let's define naming conventions. Every organization should have kind of a nomenclature to identify what sort of naming conventions are required. I'll give you an example here. So for example, there's a customer name John Jacob Smith. Some sales agents will put it like John J. Smith, somebody will put it like John Smith, somebody will put it like John Jacob Smith, but they're all the same people. So we should have certain name nomenclature in place so that everybody kind of follows that, and we have a consistent system. Then deduplication is not a one-time affair. I think it has to be done regularly, and we are all humans, we make mistakes, so a regular audit is required. Maybe start with a weekly or a monthly audit depending on the kind of org structure you have, and you can push it to quarterly so that you run quarterly audits and dedupe them, and there's less baggage to carry. Otherwise, if you do it after 5 years, I don't think you'll be able to retain the customer information. And then moving forward, I think validation rules are one of the very basic features offered by Salesforce. It has been there for I don't know how long, and it is really important to have those validations in place. So let's make sure that we have the right set of validations, the picklist values are correct, and we don't allow people to enter whatever they would like to. And assigning data ownership, typically we should have account owners or lead owners kind of manage the data. They should be responsible for the data on leads, accounts, and the related records. This is really important for the organization and from a leadership perspective. Otherwise, most of the sales rep, they think that it's only for themselves, but they don't understand the broader picture out there. Quarterly audits, apart from the data ownership roles, I think quarterly audit team is required. They go into the system every quarter, check if there are any discrepancies, reach out to the account owners and get that sorted before it's too late. Then let's talk about steps to make Salesforce AI ready. The first step is data profiling. I think you have reports. If you have Tableau, that is great. Then if you have the data cloud, that's even better. So, but you can using reports, you can kind of check missing data, missing fields, incorrect information, and kind of fix that up. And using data cloud, you can use segmentation. You can unify the data and kind of bring everything together, and then start your AI journey from there on. Then prompt engineering is one of the hot topics these days. So I would say I've seen where people kind of have built AI agents or Agentforce on top of dirty data sets or inconsistent data, and they have tailored prompts in a fashion where it is not running as per the production ready data, and then it causes a lot of issues because what agent is expecting is totally different in production than in sandbox. So make sure you run prompts on verified data sets or maybe a subset of production. Guardrails. I think you have heard about this term probably a lot, maybe 100 times since this morning. So guardrails are really important in terms of any agent and Agentforce. So make sure that you let the agent know what not to do and what to do, and also give it a fallback logic to ensure that agent does not behave weird in front of the customer. Then segmented AI deployment. This is my personal recommendation. I've seen customers getting really excited about Agentforce and going all in, all wide, but I think it has to go slow. And so focus on areas which are like which have like the best data possible and the cleanest data. Start with those kind of areas. Probably some internal use cases, and then as you learn, the team is equipped, then go on for customer use cases so that you don't, what do you call it? Maybe the customers are not irritated in the first go, and you don't experiment on customers. It's human in the loop is really important. So there's an example I put out here. AI is like a vehicle, and clean data is like a fuel. You need people to drive it. It cannot run without people here. So the role of human in loop is kind of very important. Firstly, AI does not data. People do. People can manually enter the data. They can fix it. Second is a lot of customers feel that the sales guys don't want to enter the data, but I think incentivization kind of works. So we have had customers who have incentivized their team in some way or the other, to enter the data. That is really important. Then training your team. So basically, what happens is that sales agents they think that data is only for them, and they think they can remember everything, but they need to be taught about the vision, the broader picture that the leadership team needs basis that data, and it is not just for them, it's for the broader organization. Once they understand that, along with incentivization, they kind of start adapting to it. And appoint data champion roles, wherein data champions are the folks who are doing their job the best, and these can act as champions for others and kind of help them elevate their level and kind of help them enter the data in a more efficient way. So how does your AI journey start today, right? So probably this week we can start with data quality audits and understanding what are the common pain points. Pick top 3 issues in your data governance framework around it and data strategy on how to fix it, and then probably start using your AI powered features. I don't think it should be the other way around. So this is one of the tips that I would like to offer. So in the end, I would like to say the smarter the data, the smarter is your AI. So make sure your data is clean, and then only fall in the trap of AI and AI agents. Thank you guys. That was all. I'm open to any questions if any.